Here's a mess. All because I put a hoodie on.
Yeah, I'll put one on today too.
Are you getting your tires changed tomorrow?
I need to call first thing in the morning because I tried calling this afternoon and that nobody answered, so I have to try again tomorrow. So
just keep me in the loop.
I will.
I have to plan my day around you.
Oh no, it won't be during the day. It'll be like around work time. So
like on the way to work or something.
Yeah, it'll be like just meet me at the way.
Oh, I have to take you to work.
Well, just meet me at the tire place and then drop me back off. That's all there is. It'll be super easy. So. All right. Well, we are alive. It's another day, another another night here in the Weather Center.
This looks a lot more casual with it. Like the way you have the camera, it's just way more casual looking.
Yeah, we're just kind of casual, kind of laid back here. I'm kind of tired tonight.
You're always tired.
Well, I'm tired and sleepy. I'm sleepy tonight.
You're always tired.
So I'm watching this series on Netflix called Adolescence. And I watched some of the episode 2 when I was at home. It's really good. It's really well done how they've done the whole. It's like it's one shot. There aren't cutaways. It's just one shot, and it follows the actors. It's really cool how they've done it. It's very good series.
There was another movie I watched that was like that, but I don't remember what it was.
That was a war movie.
Yes,
and it was
the
opening scene.
It was the World War I movie.
Yep.
What's it called? 1917.
I forget it, but I do what you're talking about. They started off as just one long. It's exactly like that's the same thing. So
that movie was
but yeah, this is a really good. It's really intense. So 1917. That was a good movie too, by the way.
It just took a while to get going.
Yeah, it was kind of slow, but it was pretty good though. So
the new one coming out in April. I want to watch.
What's it called?
Warzone Warfare. But it's based off another true story. It's
cool.
A24 production.
I like World War II movies.
This one's modern day. It's Iraq.
Oh, it is? Okay.
It's based off the SEAL, from my understanding, like a Navy SEAL team or SEAL Team 6.
You know, a good series I watched on Apple TV was Masters of the Air. Was so an excellent, outstanding series. So, we know what, Corey, maybe you are on 240 hours at work. But I'm on well, it's not that many, but I'm tired, man. I can't help it, dude. But I listen, I work more when I'm not at work than when I'm at work. When I'm at work, Cameron, it's computer work and it's just diving into everything and just being focused and all that kind of stuff.
Passion too.
Yeah. And then, but when I'm at home, it's physical work. Here, it's mental work.
So you get both sides of the game.
So I'm exhausted by the end of the day. Yes, I am.
Yeah,
so
but you'll still stay up until 1 in the morning.
I have to. It's just my schedule. I don't really like it, but I mean, I have to. Tomorrow, I mean, think about with the NCAA tournament coming on. But who knows what time will go on? Usually speaking, you're doing it Friday night, buddy. So, I mean, if you think about it, typically speaking, if we have a game that's going on tomorrow night at 9:30. By the time they wrap up everything, it'll probably be midnight before we go on.
Don't say that.
That's just the way it is, I mean, it's
then the 7-day gets wonky.
Yeah, it does. It makes it all weird and stuff when that happens. So, I don't know why we don't just record it at that point in time. Honestly, it's yesterday's news, but it's yesterday's weather. But that's just not how we do. We do everything live here. So we do everything live. There was a time when way back. Several years before you got here, we were down to basically me, and I think maybe Garrett a little bit, and we would record a couple weathercasts from time to time. Mostly, everything was live, so
yeah,
it's just the way it goes. Well, I'm glad you guys did join us here tonight for another night. So, another night of the primetime weather chats with Cameron and Ken.
I was talking to my grandma tonight. I talked for about an hour tonight.
Oh yeah.
And we were talking about this a little bit. My grandpa watches it every day, and he loves it, absolutely loves watching this.
Well, it's fun, it's different.
I guess he always makes a comment that we're really entertaining to watch.
I think if people watched us, if we had more people that watched us, they would love it. I mean, but it's just hard to get people get off work, they're tired, they want to relax, want to watch some TV, Netflix and chill, and that kind of stuff, and then we're
not just say that.
Well, I mean, that's what it's called, Netflix and chill, right?
Yes, Ken. It's what it's called. Yeah, I mean,
I Netflix and chill every single night. I don't know what you're laughing about. I mean, there's nothing for me. I go home, I watch Netflix, and while I'm watching Netflix, I'm just chilling. I mean, what are you laughing at? What's funny about that?
What you consider Netflix is chill is not what my generation considers Netflix and chill. I'll leave it at that.
Well, what does your generation consider?
I can't say it on Facebook Live, Ken.
Okay. So your head's in a different place than mine.
Well,
So,
that's what it means. That's
so what am I supposed to say here?
you go home and watch
going
Netflix
home
and
and
relax.
I'm going home and watching Netflix and relax.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, that's what I'm doing. I'm Netflix and relaxing, folks. I don't know what he's talking about, but I'm talking about Netflix and
I
relaxing.
guarantee most people here probably know what it means. They're probably looking at you like, "Oh boy."
Andrea Nichols says church. I don't know what she means by church. You mean like church you go to on Sunday, or I guess Wednesday night you can go to church.
Yeah.
So some people do. I used to, when I was a kid, went to church. Every time the doors were open when I was a kid, I went to church. Man, my mom made me go, and I hated going to church as a kid, man. I hated it.
There you go. There's your explainer. Right.
What's up, dog? There's the king. Oh, look, there's the king himself. I know you don't know him, but that guy right there, Jacob Terrell, he's the king of Tornado Alley, man.
I'm friends with him on Facebook.
Oh, yeah. Jacob's a good dude, man. I like Jacob. He's the king of Tornado Alley. So,
there's your breakdown right there.
All right.
Don't read out loud. Don't read out loud. Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, folks, I just learned about what that meant. So that's not what I meant, folks. That's not what I meant.
So funny.
All right, we're gonna move on from that right there, because this is not supposed to. That was not what I was referring to. I've heard the term before, but I just thought it meant chilling.
Yeah,
I do that a lot. Chilling, like relaxing.
Oh, brother. The more you know, Ken.
The more you know.
The more you learn.
Yeah, the more you learn. You guys have taught me. You young people have taught me a lot. Yeah, I used to talk to Jaden. Used to teach me a lot of stuff too. But that dude don't text, don't call. Since he said he was moving to Denver, he fell off the face of the earth, man. It's like not even my friend anymore.
He's still doing his job though.
Yeah, he does. But I mean, we used to like hang out and chat and whatnot, and now he just kind of just this
You're
is
supposed
on
to
there.
You're supposed to throw a going away party. There's no words of that.
Well, I want to do that. I just don't know when to do it. So
well, you better hurry up. Time's moving, brother.
I know it'll be his last day. Will be here before you know it. So
I mean, clock's ticking, man.
I know time flies by, man. I mean, it really does. It just seems like yesterday I was moving to Wichita Falls, Texas by myself and didn't know anybody here at all. I'll never forget the first day I drove into town. I didn't know anybody. And I was staying at this was the Howard Johnson, I think, at that time. And man, I was so lonely. And the girl I was married to at that time, because we're no longer married now, was that her and the kids were still back in Mississippi. So my first 3 months here, I was by myself. Chris Horgan and I became friends, but it took a couple of weeks for that to happen. But man, you're talking about a lonely feeling when you come into a town and don't know anybody, which probably know how it feels.
I did that 2 years ago, man.
Yeah, but you knew me.
Barely. I had to get to know you. It's not like I just got here. It's like, what's up, man? That wasn't the case day one.
That's true. I remember. I think the first day you went out with us though. You went out to Tanner's birthday party.
Yeah, but it was awkward. It was like,
I know it was awkward.
You were a good guy, but I didn't know anyone out there. Everyone's having their own conversation. I was just kind of there.
Yeah.
I mean, now it's different. But
now you'd be like you're just one of the guys now. So
yeah.
What's up, Kate Curtis? What was the highest wind speed today? Because somebody was telling me it was over 50 miles an hour here. Do you know what it is? I haven't looked.
I haven't looked.
I
wouldn't be surprised if we hit 50 though.
I would be. Yeah, I would think so. There were some people. I mean, I would be surprised if we got to 60.
I mean, it was windy earlier. Now it's nice. The winds are gone, but it's cold again.
Well, I mean, it's just the way it happens. The first day of spring is tomorrow. That's right. The spring equinox is tomorrow.
Well, that's like like I was on my rant yesterday. I said, can we please get rid of this? What I say, this dusty, windy, pollen-filled fire weather. And guess what? We got rid of it, but now we just brought in cold weather with it. There's just no winning here.
Well, let me tell you something about that, Cameron. It will be very soon. And I'm telling you, it'll be here fast. It'll be hot every single day. And the cold weather will be gone for about 6 months.
I'm looking for optimism, not 120 degrees.
Well, it's going to be here before you know it.
And I'm going to be miserable again.
Here's what, I don't mind the summer, but it's so, once you get beyond mid-June, man, it's so hot here, and it stays that way until about October.
The problem with the summer is it is the same thing every day, especially with the weather. It'd be like, hey, forecast tomorrow, hot. The weekend, guess what? It's going to be hot.
It's hard. It makes it makes our job boring.
It does. I mean, it's like, I would say you don't need the weather forecast, but at that point, it's like, okay, it's hot every day. We know, next.
Ann says last night was the worst she'd ever recall. What do you mean by that?
You know what's funny? The dust last night bothered me more than it did Friday.
Really?
Because I drove, I stayed here a little bit later. We were watching that one thing near Vernon, and I left here probably 11:30 or so.
Mm-hmm.
And I drove. That's when the dust really started to settle in, and the wind was kicking up, and it was actually bothering my eyes. Like it didn't bother me at all on Friday, but this time around, and I was in smoke and dust, and it didn't bother me none. But this time around, it did.
I guess on Friday, I mean, it was so dusty out. I walked outside and went in my mouth.
Huh?
Was it Friday? It was so dusty.
Yeah. What was that?
It was dirt in my mouth.
Oh.
So it was dirt.
Is that what it was?
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, the winds were rough last night. They've just been rough a lot lately, though. It's just will we see an active spring for severe weather? I don't know. C Branch. I don't know. It's a good question. It may be. We'll just have to kind of wait and see. There's some indications that there could be, but I've seen it before where when you see active weather patterns early on like this, by the time we get into our severe weather season, the pattern relaxes a lot. We don't get a lot. So we'll just have to just see what happens.
Yeah, Jay talking about the dust making it all the way to Indiana. That the dry line made its way all the way into the deep south.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? I mean, you just don't see that very often. I mean, I've seen it happen before, but it doesn't happen very often. So,
I mean, I'm tired of it, man. I'm ready for it to change.
It's just the way it goes right now, man. It's just not a whole lot you can do about it. I mean, it's weather.
I know, but
weather is weather. Weather will weather. Just like Cameron Weatherman can, Weatherman can. Weather is weather.
What?
Yep. Your weather will weather,
I know, but, I just didn't really understand that lingo.
I'm just making up stuff right now. Honestly, I am.
You really are tired, aren't you?
I'm very tired. Can't you tell?
No, I mean, you're talking a lot.
I talk all the time. I could talk to her. Here's the thing about it. My wife and I can be at home, and we won't say two words to each other. But you put me in front of a camera and I can just ramble on and talk about anything.
You love the camera, don't you?
I guess I do. Jacob, you must have scored 2 tornadoes down there in the jungle, man. I don't know how you saw those things, man. It was so. I was trying to watch Reed Timmer's stream, and man, the only way they could see the tornadoes was with the drone, man. It was this thick down there.
There you go. Stop throwing your pens at me.
Kate wants to know the difference between Twister and a hurricane. I think I've explained it to her before, but maybe she forgot. Explain it, Cameron.
Why do I explain it?
Because I've already done it. You do it this time.
I mean, a hurricane's a much larger scale. It's what we call synoptic driven. It's just forms in the ocean, so it's a much bigger storm system. And then tornadoes are much smaller. They're what we call mesoscale meteorology, so it's on a much smaller scale, and it's just a much smaller storm. It's much more confined compared to a hurricane.
A hurricane's a big wind and rainstorm over the ocean. That's what a hurricane is. And it creates big waves and big flooding. It's an actual big storm system. A tornado is a little small piece of a storm system that forms over land most of the time.
It's actually pretty crazy. If you see the pictures, like the full storm, like where you get the really far out shots, you see the entirety of the mesocyclone. I think just how small a tornado really is compared to the storm. Oh, it's
tiny. I mean, if you look at the storm, how big it is, and the tornado's like that big.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive, actually.
Yeah, but they're both areas of low pressure, but one's just kind of spread out. That's a big rainstorm. The other is actually a tornado is basically vorticity is what it is.
Yeah.
It's horizontal vorticity turned vertical.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. So
what's Candy?
You're Cameron? All right. So Candy Cameron, you ever seen the show Punked on MTV?
I was born in 2000.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. So what it is it's like Impractical Jokers.
Okay.
Like that.
Okay.
It's like, pranks.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of it, when they would tell them it was a prank, they had to go, smile, you're on candid camera.
Oh.
So
when I TP your house, I'm gonna do that.
No, when you TP my house, I'm gonna come out the house with some eggs and throw them at you. Pow.
Like, Ken, your house is covered in toilet paper.
You're on
candid camera.
Camera with eggs. Hey, man, that's a cool name. What's that, Tiana?
Tiana? I think it's
Tiana Laura. That's pretty cool. I like that name, man.
I think it's Tiana. I really wonder how many people are genuinely watching. It tells us there's only 8, but I know there's not only 8 people watching. There's a good bit of people interacting tonight.
Well, I don't know. That just isn't accurate. I just don't know how many people are watching or nothing like that. Yeah, you're probably right, Jake. We probably won't have that much severe weather season. I mean, it's a very weak La Nina, and I've seen it happen before where we get to our severe weather season out here, and the whole jet stream goes away, and we wind up getting ridge and weak weather systems, and we don't see a lot. Then that could happen this year. We'll have to see. We'll have to just see. You just never. All it takes is one system or 1 week of a couple of systems, and then there you go.
That makes your whole season.
That makes your whole season. We go here through long periods of time without any interesting weather. And then you probably throughout the whole year, you could probably sum up our interesting weather probably in about a 2-week span, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
The rest of the time, it's just blah.
It goes by fast.
Yep.
Too fast sometimes.
Yep. And then the summer's here. And then you're like
the best days when it's 4 or 5 days in a row storm chasing.
Those are good.
And then, like I was telling you earlier, when I come back to the station, you're like, Cameron, you need to go home and go to bed because you're a little irritated.
I remember when I first got here back in 2008, we'd been late in June, man. We'd have like a whole week's worth of just early June, a whole week's worth of just risks. It'd be like, I guess back then it would just be slight and moderate risk. We'd have a moderate risk every day out here along the dry line. It was awesome. I mean, it was just hailstorms, but I mean, still pretty cool.
Still cool to see.
Yeah.
Still can be photogenic.
We tried to do some storm chasing back then, and they tried to do it with, I guess it was Skype, but the video quality was horrendous. I mean, it was real.
Skype.
It was, and it was like real white video. It was just bright video. It just wasn't good. So,
do you still use Skype?
No, I don't use Skype. I haven't used Skype in a year. The only thing I use now is Teams and Zoom.
Yeah,
those are the two I use.
Skype is classic. I wonder if there's still a thing.
I think it is. Yes, Skype's still a thing. Yeah, it is. There are people out there who still use it. I'm sure. I wonder if MySpace is still a thing.
I don't know. Did you
type it in and see if there's MySpace? I don't remember what I'd have no idea what my username and password would even be.
Sure.
Well, it looks like MySpace is still a thing, y'all.
What? It's still active.
Yeah, but it looks like it's for like music and stuff now.
I don't know if it's like what it used to be.
I mean, you'd get a friend like when you get on MySpace, you would
like
automatically
LinkedIn Connect.
You'd automatically get a friend with Tom. Tom would be your buddy, no matter. It was always your friend. So
I was getting into social media like at the very end of MySpace, I think.
How old were you?
I would have been in 6th grade. It was when I made a Facebook account and I got in trouble for it. My parents gave me an old iPhone, like an iPhone 4. And I was like, oh my gosh. It's like I went to my buddy's house. We, spent the night at his house. I made a Facebook. And so I was like, all right, I'm not going to threaten my parents though. But with Facebook, it shows people you might know. My name popped up. I had a pretty stern conversation. Like, you're not old enough for social media. You're not old enough for Facebook yet.
Well, the Snapchat was the worst one though.
Was it?
I don't like Snapchat because I do understand that a lot of bad things can happen with Snapchat. But my kids is how I communicate with them.
Yeah.
And my family. I mean, it's exactly. I mean, that's all. The only people that I message would be my kids. I've got a couple friends with Cameron, and then I got my family. That is it. That's the only thing I use Snapchat.
Do you have
for.
Snapchat?
I don't use it.
Do you have an account though?
I used to, but I just found that I don't need it because everybody who I already talk to, I just text message anyway.
You're right. I rarely even use Snapchat. That's his generation type thing. I rarely use it. So
I don't let my kids have it until they're much older, just because.
Do your kids have any social media yet?
What?
Do your kids have any social media yet?
Yeah, not my youngest.
Gotta go.
A 16-year-old has some forms of things, but it's like Snapchat isn't a good thing for you right now, man.
It's not good. It's bad.
The whole it just goes away. And
Snapchat is bad. I'm glad it's bad. Snapchat's bad.
Dad meeting here.
Mr. Mackey says Snapchat is bad.
Snapchat's bad. Okay.
I'm good. Snapchat's bad.